Hey, good morning, everyone. Today's lesson is going to be pretty basic. I just want to make sure we understand one more routine that's going to become, well, routine in this class. Once you go to the link, and I reposted it for your writing expressions activity from yesterday, you should see that on the page there's this box with a notification symbol on it. And if you hover over it, you'll see it mentions you got lesson feedback. So if you click it, you're going to see what comments I made. You're also going to see a little thing that tells you what screen I made the comments on. So if I click it, it's going to take me right to the page that my feedback is based on. So in this case, I said, fix your solution to problem 2. Well, notice I don't even have anything. And so for some of you, I said, can you please complete? Because that way I can actually give you some feedback. Also notice how I made this comment about the type math tool. So some of you wrote something like this, which is totally true, totally correct. But if I go back here, instead of just typing in like it's text, if I delete this, you can use the type math tool. It's just a little bit cleaner. So if I do 3, I can either do Shift 8 to get a time symbol, or I can click on the keypad and I can click the times button that way. And then, I can submit, and it just looks a little bit nicer, especially as we get into some more complicated expressions. It's going to be easier just to use that math type tool instead of trying to type it all into a text box. Also, as you go through, once you have fixed whatever feedback I've given you, or you've done a little bit of an extension because everything you did was totally complete and correct, make sure you're going to the final slide. So some of you were giving me explanations that said you're not quite sure if this is correct, but if you notice, the last page has a work check. So notice how when I submitted, it said that I'll read that answer, but then said there's no submission for anything else. So if I go back to screen 2, let's say for problem 3, figure 103, I know is going to be 309. I submit. Now when I go back to the final slide, notice how it's saying what answer I gave and what the correct answer should be. So you have this self-check option where if these two numbers don't match up, that's a sign to you that you need to go back and revise that. So make sure you're taking advantage of that tool, and then I can give you even better feedback if you're stuck no matter how many times you attempt it. So for today, all I want you to do is make sure you're reading my feedback. If I told you to fix something, fix it. If I gave you something else to think about it and complete it. And then you can either, actually, if you can just send me an email saying that you've read my lesson feedback and that you fixed it, then I'll know to go back in. Because from my home screen, my teacher home screen, I can see everybody's stuff, and I see this little green tab that says, I left feedback for you on one of these pages. If it turns gray, like these two, then I know that you've read it and you're starting to work on it. So one more time, make sure you're reading my feedback, completing whatever I suggest, and then sending me an email that you've been able to handle my feedback. And that way I'll know that you're capable of using this tool. If you have any questions, definitely let me know, and I look forward to working with you guys again this week.